Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another episode of Dear Sister by Happy Chirp. Tonight we have with us our usual Izza Fatima.
Hello.
Izza, कैसी हैं आप?
Alhamdulillah.
चलिए, that is great. And our second guest for tonight, which is Sanya Farooqi.
Hello.
आप कैसी हैं Sanya?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक.
Chalo, that is, I'm also great, guys, by the way. And so tonight, something that we wanted to talk about was something that I have ranted a lot about in one previous episode, and that is friendships and losing friends, and how that sometimes takes a toll on us, the regrets that follow, and the art of knowing what to ignore, really, right? So with that, let's begin. Sanya was telling me she has some interesting stories to tell about her friends and how those friendships went. So let's start off with you, Sanya.
Well, starting off with friendships, मेरी तो सबसे ज़्यादा sad बात ये है कि मेरी 16 years पुरानी मतलब बिल्कुल बचपन की प्ले ग्रुप की फ्रेंड थी, and she ditched me real bad. And after 16 years, बीच में ऐसा time भी आया that she called me back and she was like, yeah, I really need you. I want to talk to you. Nobody's there to listen to me.
Oh,
and then I'm like, should I talk to her? Should I not? But I did.
I'm sorry to cut you, but I want to know the backstory to this. Like, how was your friendship like, and then what really happened?
We were like friends from, you can say, she was my first ever friend one can ever have, like in school. She was there from playgroup, I guess. Yeah. और फिर बहुत अच्छा बॉन्ड हो गया, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड हो गया. घर आना जाना रात, लेट नाइट एंड पार्टी सीन. तब क्या पार्टी सीन होना था, बट
बचपन की हमारी पार्टीज आल्सो वेरी डिफरेंट बाय द वे.
या प्लेइंग 24/7, और उसके पेरेंट्स को भी नहीं टेंशन व्हेन शी इज़ विद मी, मेरे पेरेंट्स को भी नहीं टेंशन व्हेन आई एम विद हर. बट इवेंचुअली व्हेन वी वर इन 4th grade, तो हमारी एक और कॉमन फ्रेंड आई, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट पर्सन मेरी जो फ्रेंड थी, जो बहुत पुरानी फ्रेंड थी, शी सेड कि यार नहीं भाई तुम मेरे समझ में नहीं आती हो, so I'm leaving you. And I was like, okay.
Oh no, so you went through this phase?
I went through this phase, and my mother was like, मैं तुम्हें बोला था, like the and you know what, एक time आता है आपके parents बहुत अच्छा judge कर लेते हैं.
When was this, by the way? Like, when did you lose her as a friend?
It was like, when did I lose her? It was in 4th or 6th grade maybe.
Achha.
But then after some time वो फिर आई, she was like, sorry, I realize. I was like, okay, fine, because me being me, I am that stupid person who loves to give chances. तो फिर now we are like really good friends. But it's like hello hi वाला scene है, पर वो वाली bond.
But things change, na?
Things change, yeah, they do change. बहुत कम ऐसे friends होते हैं जो कि they're like there for you.
True.
Yeah.
So, like, what was it like coping up with, losing a friend?
It was very devastating because I had only one friend, and that was her.
Especially when you don't have a lot of friends, I feel like all of a sudden you're left with nothing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And she was my only friend, my first ever friend, और सारे
आपको समझ ही नहीं आती कि क्या करूँ यार.
बिल्कुल. और मैं तो मैं एक बहुत ट्रॉमा में इस तरह चली गई थी कि मेरी फैमिली दे स्टार्टेड गेटिंग वरीड कि यार इसको क्या हो गया.
हाँ, एंड ऐसे फ्रेंड्स देयर सो मच अ पार्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ दैट योर फैमिली नोज देम. आपकी रूटीन का एक वो पार्ट होते हैं, सो देन इट्स हार्ड टू लेट गो ऑल ऑफ अ सडन.
बस तब से ही ट्रस्ट इश्यूज हैं.
आई फील लाइक हम सबके ट्रस्ट इश्यूज फ्रेंड्स की वजह से, लाइक एक्स फ्रेंड्स की वजह से यार.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, Izza, आपका कोई एक्सपीरियंस है विद फ्रेंड्स?
फ्रेंड्स के साथ है या
बताएं क्या हुआ था.
अच्छा, विद
लगता है
फ्रेंड
काफी
ब्रेकअप.
दर्द छुपा हुआ है इस हंसी के पीछे, so I would really want to know the story.
स्टोरी ऐसी है कि वी हैड बीन फ्रेंड्स सिंस कॉलेज के वक्त से हम दोस्त थे, और कॉलेज में इतने अच्छे दोस्त नहीं थे, बट देन we ended up in the same university but in different departments, and because she was one of those people जो मुझे पता था कि अच्छा यूनिवर्सिटी में ये एग्जिस्ट करता है, तो I used to meet her, and हमारी दोस्ती बहुत अच्छी थी. So like she was an introvert and I usually click with introverts, तो like दोस्ती बहुत अच्छी थी उसके साथ. But during some event what happened was that उसने एक चीज़ मेरी माइंड कर ली, एंड then she vanished. I mean,
So she ghosted you?
No. So actually this event was basically I was heading that event. ठीक है, तो she just got lost in the middle of nowhere. Like हम trails वाली side पर थे. ठीक है, so it was not just me, not just her. We were like a lot of people. And बीच में she just kind of ghosted me. मतलब and everyone was so worried that वहाँ पर signals नहीं होते and someone just got lost. Where is that person? कुछ नहीं पता चला था. Like I was so worried. एंड एवरीवन वाज सो वरिड. और हमने फिर आपस में, अब लाइक हम सारे ही बच्चे थे और हमने आपस में ख़ुद को डिवाइड किया कि अच्छा कोई मुनाल वाली साइड पर चल जाए, कोई किस साइड पर चला जाए, होपिंग दैट वो कहीं से मिल जाए. एंड वी एक्चुअली एंडेड अप टुगेदर, लाइक हम सारे जो हमने ग्रुप्स डिवाइड किए थे, बट शी वॉज नोवेयर टू बी फाउंड.
Oh my God.
सो दैट लाइक थिंग्स were kept getting crazier, लेकिन हमें फिर भी वो नहीं मिली. तो लाइक हमारी साइड पे it was getting crazy that where is that girl. And दूसरी साइड पे
So wait, like she left because you guys had like a fight or something?
No,
or out
she
of
ghosted
nowhere?
her. Yeah, she ghosted out of
Yeah.
nowhere ना. तो later in time what happened कि अच्छा फिर हम वापस यूनिवर्सिटी भी चले गए. बस एक मैसेज ये आया उसका जो हमें एक सिग्नल वाली जगह पर हमें जब हम पहुँचे तो हमें रिसीव हुआ कि आई एम फाइन, आई एम सेफ. And we were confused कि how to decipher this. खैर, but later when we like got in touch like through social media, तो she told कि अच्छा मैंने ये चीज़ मुझे अच्छी नहीं लगी थी और फिर बाद में उसकी वजह से मैंने ये like that
So
is
she
what
left because of
yeah
something
exactly
like that.
and that was such a minute thing. I mean it still baffles me that someone minded that thing because I was heading that event, so I was all over the place.
Yeah, this is so irritating. Especially, it's not irritating. I don't know what do you call it, but जब आप किसी इवेंट को होस्ट कर रहे होते हो ना अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी टाइम में, कॉलेज टाइम में, एंड तब जब आपके फ्रेंड्स आपको सपोर्ट, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट एबल टू गिव देम टाइम द वे यू यूज्ड टू, लाइक यू आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग स्टफ. पर तब जब आपके फ्रेंड्स आपको जो सपोर्ट करते हैं आपको वो भी पता चल जाता है, एंड जो नहीं करते आप कहते हो यार आई वांटेड यू टू बी देयर विद मी, यू नो.
And just the pressure on Izza at that point, again you don't get to decide कि अगला क्या किस चीज़ से offend हो जाएगा. Of course अगर उसने कुछ माइंड किया, let's for a second say कि चलो ठीक है यार होगी, maybe she's sensitive, maybe उसको बुरा लगा हो वो, लेकिन then again to do something that leaves you know the other person in pain, like the pain that you must have gone through or the mental torture that you must have gone through during that time when she was not there, yeah, all of those other people who were searching for her, that is something that you really don't want other people to go through, right? So I am amazed by your patience though. Like मैं तो I would have freaked out उस time पे कि यार किधर गई है, क्या हुआ है.
उस वक्त like मेरी वो दोस्त थी, बाकियों के तो वो दोस्त नहीं थी. बाकियों के लिए she was just another participant, but I was like I know her since like 3 years and they're saying कि शायद वो कोई mind कर गई होंगी, और मैंने कहा नहीं, she's never the person who would mind this stuff.
नहीं करते हो यार.
Yeah, and because she's like my friend, I actually know her. And to actually like end up with the conclusion that these people were right, that she actually minded
so, like,
this
what
thing.
What happened after? Like after she was
तो
found?
उसकी तरफ से ठीक है वॉइस नोट्स आए थे, लेकिन आई रिमेंबर आई स्टिल हैव दोस वॉइस नोट्स कि मैंने रो कर उसको वॉइस नोट्स भेजे थे.
That is the saddest part.
Yeah, like I think I was in my 3rd year of university, शायद ये like 2 साल पुरानी 1.5 साल पुरानी बात है, और फिर मैं रो रही थी और मैं उसको वॉइस नोट्स भेज रही थी. And that was kind of and still is like one of the only friendship breakup of my life, but and we just never could be उस तरह के friends again. Yeah, like we currently are friends, लेकिन just वो वाली dynamics just exist ही नहीं करती.
And then they also say कि friendship breakups always hurt more. They just hit
That is true.
That is so true. That is so true. We had like मैं अभी भी उसके बारे में सोचती हूँ तो we have had so many candid moments just overall university और उससे पहले भी, and we just clicked. अचानक से हम क्लिक हुए तो.
And when you're losing a friend, it's not just you know that person going away from your life. It's all those memories that you have to let go of, right? And all those times that you know you've had fun together, or maybe cried together, or all those things that you've shared, right? So to be able to achanak se forget all of that or put that aside, it's hard. That's I think the hardest part about losing a friend. Because in our normal like daily lives, we come across a lot of people and then things change. It doesn't really matter that much, right? So I'm one of those people who really struggle with letting people go. I am sentimental in that way. I can't let go of things. I can't let go of people that easily. So when things like these happen, I'm just like कि यार मैं किधर जाऊँ, मैं क्या करूँ? That moment between you trying to move on and it's just weird.
मतलब अब ऐसा होता है कि कुछ लोग अब जैसा in my university I had this friend and जो लड़कियाँ हैं जो लड़के भी who break up friendships because of their relationships with their so-called
that is a problem that a lot of people
I
face.
just don't get it.
Better self.
Yeah, मेरे साथ ये 2-3 दफ़ा हुआ है कि मेरी एक बहुत अच्छी friend थी and she broke up with me. We were like friends for I don't know quite a long time. तो एक उनके बॉयफ्रेंड ने एंट्री मारी and then she was like I need to break up friendship with you and I was like for what? My boyfriend doesn't like it and I'm like यार okay fine. And
red
then,
flag guys.
Red flags yes. और फिर खैर वो ख़त्म हो गया सीन. Now अभी भी आपकी वाली बात के उसको let go करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. अभी भी वो I literally think of her, I stalk her Instagram and I'm like dude you did wrong and but I have this thing कि I'm so sensitive related to friendships कि मैं कहती हूँ यार नहीं if you need me anywhere in your life I'll be there for you but वो वाली बात नहीं है like वो वाला सीन नहीं है.
या इस चीज़ से मुझे सिर्फ इस चीज़ का होता है कि देखो in our life ना growing up we've always lost friends. जब हम स्कूल में होते हैं हमारे फ्रेंड्स और होते हैं. बहुत कम लकी लोग कहूँगी मैं वो होते हैं who are still friends with people from school from college. लेकिन that's how it is, know. And the sad part about this, which again is not in our control, is that growing up you can't really force people to stay in your life. अब for example जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी जाते हो, आप कॉलेज जाते हो, you come across new people, you're making new friends all the time. And sometimes those friendships are based more on convenience because you see those people every day. अब जैसे हम जॉब करें, so we see those people every day in our lives, more than our family of course. Also, which is funny, but so then when that happens, उसमें stop आ जाता है जब, तो all of a sudden you're just left nowhere again कि यार मतलब अब क्या करें, अब there's new people in our life. But then again at that point I think it's important for us to realize that it's bound to happen.
And it's important for us to know how to deal with it, अब recently मैं यहाँ पे जब job start की तो मेरी बहुत एक close friend है. She's like my younger sister. उसने मुझे मैसेज किया she was very depressed, तुम बदल गई हो, तुम्हें क्या हो गया है, why are you not,
I really want to come towards this by the way कि अब I've had so many friends in my life which obviously drifted apart like थोड़े time बाद, but ever since I've started working I've experienced this a lot from some friends कि यार मतलब तुम तो change हो गई हो, तुम बदल गई हो, and then I find myself in situations where I'm continuously explaining it to them कि यार it's my routine, it's work, it's not you, it's not this, it's not that. So that sort of becomes draining at one point, right? आप कहते हो कि यार अब मैं किस
if you keep justifying yourself like what's the point, क्योंकि the real ones, the real people around you are the ones जो कि आपसे नहीं पूछते या
समझ जाते हैं,
जो समझ जाते हैं कि अच्छा कोई मजबूरी है जिसकी वजह से ये नहीं कर पा रही, like they are understanding, they accommodate you somehow. But if there's someone who just keeps on asking for your justification and keeps on questioning you, so it literally gets draining.
Of course it's important to really check up on each other every now and then and just keep in touch, but at the same time अगर आपकी रोज बात नहीं हो पा रही, I mean that's adulting, isn't it? You grow up and you have other things to do in life. Friendships don't always remain the same, right? So to really keep blaming your friends for not giving you the time that they used to, I feel like that's a very unrealistic expectation.
It is unrealistic, true that.
And when we look at the positive side of it कि अब जब हम कुछ अपने friends से कुछ अर्सा नहीं मिलते, काफ़ी अर्सा नहीं मिलते, जब हम उनसे मिलते हैं तो it's really nice to know what's happening in their life.
Exactly. So nice.
Telling them that what is going on. So it's like we have a topic of discussion. वरना तो रोज़ जब हम मिलते थे ठीक है, they were like conversations, पर इतनी वो फिर बड़ी डल सा हो जाता है.
हाँ, true that.
That depends on friendships as well. कुछ होती हैं जिनके पास they have always something to say. अब मेरी एक friend है, उनके साथ मेरी रोज भी बात होना कॉल पे, तो we're just like, oh great, बता लेते. लेकिन then again there are some friends who've just not been the same anymore, right? And that is because I'm with so many people every day, you know, I'm interacting, I'm coming across them, and then, you know, you really don't get the time to give everybody updates. And then usually क्या होता है कि when you're going home, अब मुझे इतने ज़्यादा messages आए हुए होंगे कि यार oh shit तुमने मुझे बताया नहीं कि यार क्या हो रहा है, and I'm just like that's not because I don't want to tell you, that is because time ही नहीं है. आप पूरा दिन कुछ करके आओ and then you're, you know, in office working and what not, and अचानक आप घर भी जाओ तो अगर वही बात हो रही हो तो that sometimes it sort of gets to you कि यार I want to leave this at work.
और कभी-कभी तो घर जाके आपका फोन पकड़ने को भी दिल नहीं करता. You're like, I'm done for the day.
And then my friends are always like कि यार तुम तो बताती नहीं हो, तुम तो मिलती नहीं हो, and I'm just like it's not about you, it's about the fact that I don't want to talk about it, you know. But what do you guys think about the fact कि friends who are very demanding, yeah, friends who are, you know, continuously on your head कि oh तुमने ये भी नहीं किया, like what are your thoughts on that and how does it drain you guys? Does it or
actually I don't think so that it does drain me, but I like a certain amount of over possessiveness or possessiveness in any relationship. लेकिन जब वो exceed हो जाती है
I agree with the same.
I like over possessiveness in relationships. जब वो exceed हो जाती है तो फिर I make sure that other person understands कि okay that's it, that is it, इधर तक ही रहें तो that's better. तो अगर मेरे साथ कभी इस तरह कोई होता है तो I make sure that my friend they know that, you know, अब बस इसके बाद
like they know their boundaries.
Yeah, they should know. I think everybody should know their boundaries. तो मेरे साथ तो it's not that draining for me.
And do you guys think it's important to have boundaries in friendships as well?
Yeah, it's important to have boundaries, in my opinion, in every relationship. Minus your parents, though. I think in every other relationship.
Allowed नहीं होता. Like in desi homes, you're not allowed to have a boundary.
What boundary? What privacy?
Exactly. तुम्हें boundary चाहिए इधर आओ
अच्छा, I think कि friendships ना it can't be the same with everyone. Like आपके हर इंसान से, even अगर मैं हूँ, मेरी जो सानिया से है, ठीक है, मेरी वो आपसे दोस्ती कभी भी नहीं हो सकती, ठीक है, even though I'm the one who is keeping this friendship. So there are dynamics that you have to actually create, that you have to understand, and that is what is the process which leads to like you becoming friends. तो ये चीज़, some people, कुछ लोग actually इस तरह के होते हैं जिनको आप accommodate कर लेते हैं कि you know ये इंसान मुझे हर दिन भी मैसेज करे, I'm fine, ठीक है, but then some people they are not like too good of a friend, like आप vibe नहीं match करे या anything, like personal preference, ठीक है, कि you don't want that person to be maybe that close of a friend. अगर वो कर रहे हो तो that is definitely crossing a boundary. तो this is something जो कि person to person vary ही करता है. Like with some people I am कि अच्छा you know what, ये इंसान जितने भी सवाल पूछे it would never be draining for me. लेकिन कुछ लोगों के लिए it is important कि मैं define करूँ कि यार आपकी क्या boundaries है, मेरी क्या boundaries है, हम हर दिन बात करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे. वैसे ये जो हर दिन वाली बात है, that is something I cannot do. Like I'm more like अच्छा हम हर दिन मिल भी लेंगे, ठीक है, like मिलना is fine with me, लेकिन हर दिन chatting करना like that is something जो कि मैं नहीं कर सकती.
Yeah, especially with our jobs and stuff, it's like impossible to do it, right?
It's crazy. Like मैं जब गाड़ी में होती तो मेरा वही टाइम होता है कि अच्छा मैं reply करूँ, but even then it like never ends. तो
it's just so fascinating to me, like इज़ा की ज़िंदगी के जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट काम है, जैसे, और वो वाले काम जिनके लिए आपको यू नो यू नीड टू बी डेडिकेटेड एंड यू नीड टू हैव फोकस, वो सारे इज़ा की गाड़ी में होते हैं. इज़ा ने लाइव जाना है, इज़ा गाड़ी में लाइव जाएंगी. इज़ा ने खाना खाना है, इज़ा गाड़ी में खाना खाएंगी. इट्स वेरी फैसिनेटिंग टू मी ऑनेस्टली कि अब रिप्लाई कर, लाइक आई एम द टाइप ऑफ पर्सन कि अच्छा रिप्लाई करना है आराम से घर जाके करो, खाना खाना है आराम से घर जाके करो. इज़ा इज ऑलवेज ऑन द गो,
फास्ट
literally on the go.
So yeah, that's about it.
And I think we've talked a lot about losing friends in the process. कि अच्छा, you know, naturally you just drift apart or whatever. Lekin we've not actually talked about letting go of friendships. Like when you do it yourself, you're losing friends, but that's intentional. Okay, yaar, ab nahi karna, nahi ho raha, you move on. So I really want to know your thoughts about that. Okay, like how is that process like, and how does it affect you? Do you guys have regrets later, or like how do you manage that basically?
I personally think like every person in your life is there for a reason, ठीक है, and they're not there to stay. So your university friends, your college friends, your school friends will never be there for you like forever. कुछ luckily जैसे आपने कहा वो रह जाते हैं, ठीक है, but people move on. People even change, and we should allow them to change.
Yeah, that is very important. We should allow change to happen.
ये expectation रखना कि भाई मैं वैसे ये इंसान वैसा ही होगा जिस तरह ये स्कूल में होता था, like that is very unreal expectation. And you should like never expect this from a person. और अगर वो change हो रहा है, and like most importantly, if you think that that person is changing for the better, so you should like hope for their success rather than complain कि अच्छा तुम तो एक अलग इंसान हो गए, we don't match anymore. So
you know, you should accept people growing.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like it's very important for yourself to let things go, may it be friendships, because if you keep them or you
Keep
hold
holding
on to them,
yeah,
so it's more damaging, you know.
More,
sometimes maintaining friendships can be so draining, because then you're not putting your heart in it, right? You're just doing it for the sake of
keeping
those
them
memories,
in your life,
those friends. कि अब जैसे आपने बोला था कि मेरी इतनी पुरानी दोस्त थी, so maybe I can see myself in a position where I'm like कि यार okay, let's just keep in touch, or let's just you know एक message करते just so that I don't lose those years, you know. So sometimes that can become very draining given कि how fast life is now.
Yeah, you just get so tired of the fact कि आप कितना एक बंदे को वो कहोगे कि यार okay fine, कितना आप उसको कहोगे कि I expect this from you and I want this from you and this is my situation. At some point you need to let go, and you need to see what other person, you know, what they do in keeping you as a friend, or you know, in even letting you go as a friend.
I think like this is something जो कि हर इंसान पर, मतलब आपका दोस्त है, कोई रिश्तेदार है, anyone, like they might be there just for a phase of your life,
and that's okay.
And that's okay. Like let go, move on. That is something. Obviously, that is half what adulting is, of letting go, moving on. That is
again,
tough.
I think one major part of adulting that we have talked about before as well is guilt, because half of the things we don't do because of the guilt that is going to follow, right? Or the regrets that are going to follow. So since we do or make half of our decisions because of that, we end up keeping a lot of things that are really draining us, that are really more harm to us than benefits, right? True. Let it be whatever, or let it be friendships, because I have done that in my life. I am guilty, guys.
Everyone has done that.
Everyone has done that.
Yeah, मतलब may it be ये वाली friendships या even relationships in general यार, कि मतलब एक cousin है दूर का या कोई कुछ जो है, you just hold on to it just for the sake of it, right? So it's very important to know when something is enough. Now you can't, you know, you have to let go of it, right?
True.
So and what about you guys? Like, have you ever regretted something के like अगर कुछ कर दिया उसके बाद आपने कहा हो कि ओह ये क्या हो गया?
नहीं, I don't regret any of my friendships ending or any of letting go of situations. No, I don't think so that I regret that, because eventually time will tell you that was necessary and
वही ना, it was time पे आप समझ नहीं पा रहे होते, emotions take control of you, you know, and all of a sudden you're like नहीं करें ना करें ये है, will I regret it later?
You know, होता है, पर ये जब आप उस सिचुएशन से गुजर रहे होते हो ना, आपको ये होता है यार मुझे रिग्रेट ना हो बाद में कि मैंने शायद ये नहीं किया।
सबसे बड़ा डर होता है यार।
पर जब अब आफ्टर अ सर्टेन टाइम पीरियड, you know, they say give time some time. So when you give time, things eventually fall into place, and then you're like, okay, fine, I'm now capable of holding it and I'm capable of dealing with it. So I think no regrets.
Agreed. Achha, we've talked a lot about now losing friends, you know. One very important aspect is how do you cope up with it? Guys, like, okay, now you've lost friends, but how do you deal with it? Like, क्या करो यार? When you're sitting all alone and you're like, you're sipping on
you hide it. आप उसको suppress कर देते
yeah, and you're sipping on your coffee and you're just sitting there and you're like, oh shit, I don't have friends anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Then what do? How do you cope up with that?
How do you cope up with that as well?
Alhamdulillah, first I have not lost many friends in my life, but this is something which is in my personality, that I move on quickly. Like for me, it's easy to accept change and to move on from people, from events, from regrets, to the point that I believe that everything happens for a reason. Koi to wajah hogi, although I can't get it now, I can't figure out why this happened, but just move on. You know, there's something better in store for you. So just that कि भाई someone was there, तो शायद उसका साथ तुम्हारे साथ इतनी देर के लिए ही था. But there is more. Tomorrow is a new day. You might meet new people. Some people might become friends of yours. So it's just that the mentality that what happened was for the best, and there's something better for you.
Yeah,
everything happens for a reason. Yeah,
I am exact opposite of Izza. मेरे लिए
oh, that's interesting.
मेरे लिए move on करना it's a task. बहुत मुश्किल है. I cannot move on. मतलब I've tried a lot though. कि चलो ठीक है, you know, just like Izza के next day is a new day, you meet new people and all that. But नहीं, मेरे back of the mind चलता रहता है कि यार why? I have this question going on 24/7 where I'm like, why did it happen to me? But then eventually वही बात के everything happens for a reason. तो फिर आप कहते हो कि अच्छा चलो ठीक है, I might get to see the reason soon. पर जब तक वो reason मिलता नहीं है ना, it's still there. The why is still there.
I think that's totally justified because you need exposure. Right? You need to know why, what happened. I'm also one of those people, by the way, जिनको you know अगर एक चीज़ हो रही है ना, I won't be like कि हाँ अच्छा हो गया. I'll be like reason चाहिए. And जब तक वो ना हो ना, मुझे तसल्ली नहीं होती. I also lost a lot of friends, by the way, especially university के बाद. And for the longest time, I was like कि यार you know क्या हो गया मेरे साथ. I used to rant a lot कि यार I don't have friends, I don't have this, that, ये वो. And then eventually I realized that you know how I coped up with all of that is that I used to remind myself that we did outgrow each other. You know, you remind yourself that it's okay because अभी भी
it had to end.
It had to.
Next इसका जो phase था हमारी friendship का, वो ending ही था.
It wouldn't have been so glitz and glams as we, you know, as I imagined it to be, right? So I keep on reminding myself, and I did suffer from anxiety for the longest time, by the way. But I did remind myself that yaar, it's okay. Like we did outgrow each other, and that is fine, right? So it's very important to keep telling yourself कि यार it's okay, and to always remember that you chose yourself. If in a fight, in any friendship, you chose to let go of a person, that was for your own self, and you're not being selfish there.
Obviously you need to back up yourself because nobody else will.
And in certain situations you will come in situations, by the way, जहाँ पे लोग are going to be like, yeah, this wasn't called for, yeah, you shouldn't have done this, yeah, you know, you should have kept this friendship, you shouldn't have ended it based on that, you know. But then again, you know yourself better than all those people, right? So you can't be like कि यार वही regrets वाली बात आ जाती है दोबारा कि you keep on reminding yourself कि यार I did it for me, and I did it because at that moment
it was needed.
Right? And then later on in life, obviously, like I realize now, you guys will also realize कि letting go of that friendship was like the best thing ever. Because if that friendship was in my life right now, I wouldn't have been able to grow or you know explore everything out there that I did now, right? Because I feel like in a lot of friendships and in a lot of people's lives, I think this has happened कि some friends just hold you down, ठीक है? And you don't realize that.
They do.
You don't realize that. You're so invested in them, and you're so invested in your routine with them, basically. I like how you guys have checks. I like how you guys are laughing because I know everybody has went through this. And बाद में आपको इस चीज़ का realization होती है कि यार मतलब I would not have been here if that friendship was still in my life, right?
That's true.
So that guilt that always you know comes along, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है to keep reminding yourself कि यार it's okay, I made the right decision.
Yeah.
And then again, if there are certain people out there jinko they still can't get over it, so I think they should opt for therapy, because therapy is something that really helps.
Therapy helps, yes.
I don't know if you guys have experience with that or you do not. It really helps, guys. Like it helps you realize all these things that you wouldn't have otherwise.
You wouldn't have,
right?
yeah, true that.
So it's very important too.
That's true. Jinx. Yeah, bole.
Okay. I was just saying, like, it's interesting how people are selfless to the point that they become toxic for themselves. ठीक है?
Yeah.
या फिर वो selfish हो जाते हैं.
True.
Like it is so hard to find that middle point.
That balance.
Yeah, that balance in which you are doing things for yourself. ठीक है? You're not being selfless.
Yeah.
But you're not also being selfish. And I think कि sometimes हम इतना कह रहे होते हैं कि do things for yourself and अपनी बेहतरी के लिए, for your mental health, कि कभी कभार लोग इसको selfish वाली side पे, like they become selfish but they don't recognize that they are being selfish. So like that is important कि if you are, whenever like you say this कि अच्छा I'm doing this for myself, you need to recognize ke, are you being selfish? Like ask that question and like really pull yourself out of the box and see it from a third person perspective कि अच्छा ये scenario हो रहा है, ठीक है, तो is this person being selfish or not?
बिल्कुल. I personally think so कि आपकी लाइफ की जो हर फ्रेंड सर्कल या फ्रेंड ग्रुप या फ्रेंड के साथ एक स्पेसिफिक मेमोरी का एक वो होना चाहिए, like planners, how we plan, or the memory books that we have. Every friend, you have their own story with them.
Yeah,
and I think that's really beautiful.
Oh, I have that memory book like right up here, guys. By the way, like मेरा है इधर.
मेरा भी है.
वो एक दफा स्टोर हो जाए ना, वो नहीं जाता.
हाँ, मतलब कुछ ऐसे आपकी लाइफ के एज होती है, ऐसे मोमेंट्स होते हैं जो आपने उस स्पेसिफिक फ्रेंड के साथ गुजारे होते हैं, and you just cannot add anyone up there because that was so raw and that was so real at that time.
लेकिन again, I feel like कि, even if you're trying to move on, and I'm so happy in my life, I've moved on with my new friends and all of that, but एक दिन अचानक से मेरी inner voice आएगी कि oh, you remember you had a best friend back then and how it ended, and I'm just like कि यार चुप कर does it happen with you guys?
It happens. Either it's the inner voice or the memories on Snapchat or Instagram.
Oh God, those memories on Snapchat.
Oh God,
guys, I cannot talk much about that though. Like I hate that. ठीक है? Yeah. I'm at that point in my life where so some of my friendships ended really badly in what way ke you don't get exposure, you find out things later and you're just like it's not even worth talking about it anymore and you just let go. So since those are the worst, by the way. So अब क्या सीन होता है कि every other day मुझे Snapchat पे memories आ रही होती हैं, ठीक है? I have stopped opening those memories and I'm at a point where at times even if I do open those memories, ठीक है, so I'm like कि अगर इस साल मुझे इसका reminder आया है तो 10 साल बाद भी आएगा, right? So मैं उसको delete कर देती हूँ. So yeah, I'm still struggling with that, guys, by the way. But ऐसा होता है. And then I think it's very important to really something that I said we'll talk about as well is the art of knowing what to ignore, right? May it be feelings that are coming from within, that dialogue that's going on all
really
the time in your mind.
And mute that other inner voice.
Exactly. But again, it's very important to really listen to it, लेकिन also know what to ignore. अब बहुत दफ़ा my inner voice is telling me कि oh, you know what, message that person. And I'm just like no, करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए. And then I'm like no. Again, remind yourself why it happened, why you outgrew each other, what happened. उससे फिर थोड़े help हो जाते हैं.
Lessons आ जाते हैं.
Yeah, so that's how you cope up with lost friends and friendships. So yeah.
ये like second thoughts, ये doubts होते रहते हैं. अच्छा, what if and the question like what if
what ifs are
what
very
if
toxic. These what if questions, oh my God, like why are they even there?
Sometimes you just wish that the brain should like shut down. It's better if they don't speak for a while. I think like अब आप हर चीज़ के लिए बाउंड्री, अच्छा एक फिजिकल पर्सन को बाउंड्री दिखा देंगे कि अच्छा क्या है, बट हाउ टू लाइक शट दिस थिंग ऑफ इज़ the real
almost impossible.
yeah. It's almost impossible, but then again you have ways like you can get it done. अगर आप like distract भी होते हैं, you know what, मतलब if someone is going through a breakup तो उसको चाहिए कि यार बहुत ज़्यादा distractions हो, ठीक है, ताकि my brain moves
Not everybody, by the way. Like I would want to add to that कि for some people, हाँ, of course, it's कि यार अब breakup है, friendship breakup है, whatever. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay? And that eventually is going to help me like overcome it for some reason.
Cope up with
which is
But I feel like कि you really need to feel those things.
address it. Yeah. Because वो फिर आप उसको दिल के एक कोने में आप उसको सप्रेस कर देते हो एंड देन वन टाइम वो ना उभर क्योंकि गिल्ट अगेन इट विल ऐड ऑन you'll keep
I think so we should confront our feelings to the people जो कि हमें bother करते हैं, like be it friends or any relationship.
Communication is very important.
Communication is
in friendships.
very important.
It's the major reason why a lot of friendships end.
yeah,
right?
not communicating and then expecting that the other person will understand, that is just so unrealistic, right?
Yeah, बिल्कुल. Like expectations के बारे में तो I would just want to say कि होनी नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, it's very natural to expect certain things, you know, decency out of your friend.
Yeah,
but,
true that.
But जो बड़ी बड़ी expectations रख के लोग बैठ जाते हैं, I think that only ends up hurting you.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's unfair to the other person as well कि आप उनसे expect करो कि like for all the rest of the years of his or her life he's going to stay the same to you.
Yeah.
ठीक है? Because what we are at this point in life, एक साल बाद I might not be there.
definitely.
अगर एक साल पहले तक I do not, let's say, want to go for masters, ठीक है? Maybe next year I do want to, and that is going to take those only 24 hours that I have in a day, a major chunk out of it, right?
Yeah.
So expectations रखना, especially इस wise कि यार अब time दो मुझे, ये करो वो करो. So I feel like that is not something that, you know, that's gonna ever lead you in being happy.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's only going to destroy your friendship in the end.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes for being happy ये बहुत एक philosophical बात है कि कभी कभी आपको दिल को shut down करना पड़ता है, दिमाग की सुननी पड़ती है. You know, have you guys
like
heard that?
rational. You need to think rational.
You have to
and
keep your
practical.
heart aside and think from your brain. So be practical. So I think in friendships and in every relationship, again, जब एक वही बात है, जब कोई एक चीज़ irritate करने लग पड़े आपको, you should take stand for yourself and for that thing.
Prioritize yourself.
Yeah, you need to prioritize yourself.
And that's not being selfish, guys. When you're choosing yourself, your mental health and all of that, it's not being selfish. That is something I cannot emphasize on enough, right?
It's not selfish.
And I've seen how so many people have always watched me ranting about how I lost my friends and whatever. Lekin the thing is that that's how much it gets to you at times, you know, okay? You're constantly thinking about it. To really do something about it, it's important for your own mental peace.
True.
And for your own, just to remain sane, guys.
You need to remain sane at any cost.
So वैसे like I think like Warda, with how Warda speaks, like, are you an overthinker? You're definitely an overthinker.
Is that even a question?
You're definitely an overthinker because
Yeah.
like अगर मैं सोचती हूँ ना like again कि मैंने move on कर लिया, these things do not haunt me as much as like जितना आप कह रही हैं. ठीक है, like आप कह रही हैं तो मुझे भी हो रहा है कि अच्छा, you know, that is also a state.
I am very happy you brought that up. Actually, I am an overthinker, and again, a lot of these things happen because you're an overthinker.
Yeah,
you know, I've seen people who are like, अब मुझे क्या होता है in certain situations, I'm acting a certain way, ठीक है, कि oh no, oh ये, oh वो, and then somebody who's right there with me is like, whatever, like, you know, it's not,
it's not
big
a big
of a
deal,
deal, you know, and I'm just like, oh no, अगर ये ना हुआ तो ये हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा. So that's what overthinking does to you. And I get what you pointed out, because a lot of things in my life are a problem for me because I overthink. What about you, Sanya? Are you an overthinker?
I am overthinker. I overthink a lot, though I don't show it, but it's always in my mind.
Overthinkers never show it, they always just
But you
overthink.
just did. I think हर कोई ही ओवरथिंकर है वैसे
Except you, of course, because इनका तो यही होता है ना कि बस सोचे बगैर कर दो, and I like that, you know.
I just take the start. I just take the step कि you know बस
You like taking risks.
Yeah, and spontaneous plans, like I am always in for it. And I think वैसे but I am overthinker in like other senses. अब आप इस चीज़ में overthink कर रही हैं तो मैं किसी और उसमें, तो at the end like everyone is an overthinker at brain.
At the end, we're all human.
And then we're all humans. I think overthink really helps you specialize in that aspect.
Yeah.
देखिए अब आप इस तरह की बात कर रही हैं because you have really you know gone through that phase. मैं इतनी अच्छी तरह इस पे बात नहीं कर सकती. Yeah.
Lessons आप इन्हीं चीज़ों से तो सीखते हो, right? But then again, the good part about that is that I've learned so much now that I agree I was an overthinker. I still am कुछ situations में.
But you've gotten better in dealing with it.
Yeah, I can deal with it better now. I mean, I'm talking about these things because I would want other people to benefit from it. कि अच्छा, if you're going through something and you know, अगर if you need help in overcoming something, I would love to be that person who helps you. Yeah, but then again, I'm way better at it now. Like these things don't bother me anymore.
True.
And I've seen how after university, एक तो adulting has changed me, and secondly, like I am more open to things now in my life. You know, if even if things go bad, I was like, okay, fine. It had to happen. You know?
And accepting.
Yeah, and now I sometimes feel like, oh, now I understand my parents and how they used to be. Because when I was growing up, मुझे बहुत सारी चीज़ों में लगता था कि यार इनको तो फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता. यार, you know, in certain situations they were so calm and they were so कि यार okay हो जाएगा ये वो. Me being the overthinker that I was, I used to be like, oh no, बहुत बुरा हो गया. Now I understand कि you get so used to it that आपका वो reaction
you're like, okay, whatever.
So yeah, I am there, guys, finally. So I've made progress, and I would really want that any person out there who is struggling with this, you always remind yourself why it happened. That's going to help you a lot with coping up with whatever loss you're facing.
Yes.
This what you said अभी जो parents वाली बात की, इससे मुझे याद आया कि you know, parents are so good with deciding who is good for you as a friend.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh,
they judge so well.
Funny story, like when I was small, so I was an introvert, by the way. Something that's hard to, you know, imagine. Like I was an introvert, and my mother, she always used to love कि अच्छा इसको ना इसकी दोस्ती कराऊँ मैं बाकी बच्चों के साथ, right? And then even if you used to go to KFC या कहीं हम जाते थे ना, मेरी मामा सब I used to be like, नहीं मामा मैंने नहीं करना. And then she used to take me to the play area and she used to be like, hey बच्चे इसके साथ दोस्ती करो.
So cute.
That was embarrassing, you know. मुझे मेरा दिल करता था वो जो बॉल पिट है मैं उसमें छुप जाऊँ literally. मुझे इतना मैं embarrass होती थी. And then ever since then मतलब कुछ time गुजरा, मामा used to take charge always. If we are going to a party, if we're going anywhere, my mama used to be like, you have to socialize. Yeah, she used to care so much about my social life. And then like later in life, उस time में बड़ा embarrassed होती थी and I used to be like, mama क्या कर रही हैं आप ये वो. But later in life I realized कि यार it's because of that I have the confidence to really go up to people now and really talk to them and
start a conversation.
Yeah, start a conversation with them. So kudos to you, mama, if you're watching this. So
kudos to every mom out there. Every parent basically.
वो इतना ज़्यादा struggle करते हैं यार. I've seen not only my parents but other parents push their children as well कि you know जाओ खेलो ये करो वो करो. And at that time we don't really realize कि it's not them embarrassing us. It's for you know our grooming and to really help us. You know,
break
get
out of that shell
exactly,
and like go out into the world.
So do you guys have any embarrassing stories बचपन की?
Not embarrassing, लेकिन मेरा ये होता था कि मैं सबसे छोटी थी अपनी अपने बहन भाइयों में, तो मेरा उनसे इतना बॉन्ड नहीं था, तो मेरे फ्रेंड्स होते थे. I was very social शुरू से ही. तो उन फ्रेंड्स को जब मेरी फैमिली में कोई भी ना कोई कुछ कहता था कि नो दे आर नॉट राइट, दे आर नॉट दिस इज दैट, आई वॉज द रेबेलियस किड. और मैं कहती थी क्यों मेरे दोस्तों को कुछ कहा है, मतलब व्हाई. एंड जब वही दोस्त वही हरकतें वही बात करते थे जिससे मेरी माँ या मेरे भाइयों ने मुझे बॉन्ड किया होता था, और मैं फिर वहीं से जाके खड़ी हो जाती थी यार.
You were right.
Like everybody talks about it as well कि our parents just know who's a good friend for you and
They
who's
just
not.
know. They just
Experience.
know. And there is something कि when I was young, तो मेरे parents they did not used to allow कि अच्छा दोस्त से कोई चीज़ लो, ठीक है, वो मना करते थे. अगर कोई दोस्त कोई देता था, they would be like, you know what, वापस
You know,
करो.
borrowing stuff?
No, अगर कोई कुछ दे कि अच्छा, you know what, I got this eraser, maybe you can all, maybe तुम भी ये लो. Like बिल्कुल छोटी चीज़ें. और इसके अलावा if even अगर दोस्त वगैरह invite भी करते थे like over to their place तो मेरी family को बहुत होता था कि you know we have never met them और इस तरह, तो maybe you shouldn't go. And उस वक्त like as a kid obviously because I did not understand
You always
this.
blame them.
Yeah, I was like, मतलब सब जा रहे हैं, मैं क्यों नहीं जा रही? Like, why is it so hard? Like, मैंने अपनी दोस्त के घर जाना है, what is so hard? But like growing up and then seeing and then meeting people, meeting families, seeing कि लोग किस background से आ रहे हैं. Yeah,
You literally realize that all the things that you were blaming your parents for, they were right all along.
Yeah, and I'm like, कि मतलब अभी because exposure हुआ है तो I realized कि how big of a decision and how right of a decision they were taken at that time by like they were literally protecting me. आपको कभी कभार बहुत बार लगता है कि you know what, your parents are not injustice to you और आपको जीने नहीं दे रहे, but most of what they are doing is like just to protect you as
It's
a child,
necessary,
and it is actually necessary because I actually know of like children around me जो कि ऐसे ही उठ के अच्छा like they belong to a good family and all, लेकिन वो किसी ऐसे घराने में गए जिसके which was so weird and it has traumatized them.
Yeah.
और वो अब तक like one boy he's in I guess he's in अभी वो मैट्रिक में है, लेकिन when this has happened I guess twice to him just because he kind of never knew how to make friends. तो वो like गलत उसकी judgment होती थी and then he used to go to their house and he's traumatized till this point and he doesn't ask anymore अपनी अम्मी से कि अच्छा मैं फलां के घर चला जाऊँ because he's still in that कि पता नहीं अगला घराना किस तरह का होगा.
True.
Yeah. And then I think at one point in our life, all of us, especially girls, boys also, like boys के साथ भी होता है, I've seen, we've suffered this, right? Where you're
Girls
not
के साथ
allowed
ज़रा वो
to,
ज़्यादा
you're
होता
not
है.
allowed to go to sleepovers and you're not allowed to
true
really
that.
go on a lot of parties मगरिब के बाद.
मगरिब से पहले वापसी.
मगरिब से पहले
Go on a
वापसी.
trip, लेकिन मगरिब से पहले वापसी.
Yeah, but then again, like later on in life, वो आप वाली बात है कि you realize कि यार मतलब they were right all along.
अब I have nieces, एक तो खैर अभी बहुत छोटी है, one is in you know प्ले ग्रुप नर्सरी 4 years की है वो, तो अब ऑब्वियसली वो स्कूल जाना स्टार्ट किए तो उसकी फ्रेंड्स बन रही है, तो आई बीइंग है फुफो आई एम वेरी ओवर प्रोटेक्टिव ऑफ हर. तो इट्स आई थिंक इट्स नेचुरली कि आपके जो
यार स्पेशली जब आपके साथ एक्सपीरियंसेस हो चुके होते हैं व्हेन यू लाइक यू नो रियली सीन इट ऑल, तो देन यू आर अ लिटिल मोर कॉशियस.
तो आपके जो आगे जो आपके छोटे बच्चे आते हैं ना, यू आर लाइक वेरी.
हाँ, नाउ आई आल्सो अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई पेरेंट्स आर लाइक हमें पता है तुम हमें ना सिखाओ बिकॉज आप सीख जाते हो उस टाइम में गाइस.
So yeah, that's the thing, that overprotectiveness is real.
Yeah, and
it's good.
and your parents always know better about your friends than you do, which is very surprising and shocking to me, but they do apparently. Anyway, so I think that's it. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about?
No, I would just.
I can actually go on and on and on about failed friendships.
I just want to say
how to cope up with that.
That it's okay to lose friends and it's okay to be selfish sometimes. It really helps you to grow.
और Izza, आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगी?
Yeah, it's not just friends, but it's okay to like let people go.
Yeah.
And what's hard is to know how to move on. But once you have figured it out, like
it's like a blessing in disguise, to be really honest.
You are really good to go.
And all those people out there who are feeling bad just because they lost friends, and losing friends doesn't necessarily also mean कि यार आपकी life से वो friends fight हुई चले गए. It can also be losing a loved one, like you know the death of a friend. That can also be very very hard on you. That's something that I have experienced, and that's something that I don't think I'm even ready to talk about yet, but that also gets to you, right? But change is a part of your life, and to be really accepting to that change is important. It helps you become stronger, and it helps you become be able to really fight all of that, right? And all those inner battles as well. So it's very important to know okay, whatever happens for a reason.
And
yeah.
and with letting go of people, I think what sometimes like what we do is we also let go of the memories, which is like you being unfair to yourself. I don't think just because you have to let go of a person, you need to let go of the memories. Like memories are something which have shaped you what you are today.
Exactly.
So that is not a necessity. ठीक है? Like
But
you
again,
move on, you accept it.
I agree, but the type of person that I am, guys, like for me it's very important to really accept what I feel at that time. You know, ये नहीं कि I'm ignoring my thoughts के oh I feel shitty या oh I feel bad, so let's ignore that and let's distract ourselves and we'll feel better all of a sudden. That's not something that I can do. But after I've really accepted my situation and felt what I have to, then I let go of it. And sometimes in many times actually I've done this, that I've really after that point not thought about it, right? Or at least tried to forcefully not think about it, and that has helped me. Because sometimes certain memories do haunt you, and it's okay to ignore them if you have to.
You should.
So
you should
really in the end do whatever makes you feel right, and just try to remind yourself that happened for a reason.
You know, it
happened for a reason.
That is the main point.
True.
It's okay not to be okay. So
very wise words.
The it's the K-drama, and the ones who see K-dramas, they know that it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah, and I would really want people to tell us if you would want a discussion on K-pop and K-dramas, because I know nothing about it, guys, but I know that Sanya and Izza love those dramas.
We're half
right?
Korean.
Yeah, so
I wish to.
yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. आप लोग हमें comments में ज़रूर बताएं if you guys would want us to talk about it, and if you have any other suggestions that you would like to leave down below for us to talk about, तो we will inshallah. We look at each and every comment, guys, right? हम लोग पढ़ रहे होते हैं सुबह बैठ के before we even start the podcast, by the way. So and your feedback is very very important for us, so don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with all your friends who you think might relate to this conversation, because I think इसके साथ तो बहुत लोग relate कर सकते हैं. Like everybody has lost a friend at one point in their life, right? So like, share, subscribe and do let us know in the comments below. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.